Yo, what's up Banter fam? Welcome to yet another masterclass. In this series, I'm going to be teaching you my secrets, my tools, and my strategies on how I managed to do it in a short period of time. First thing I need you to do, I need you to hit that like button. Then I need you to hit that subscribe button. And remember, if you are opening any new accounts, make sure you use the links below in the description, as that will help you with any giveaways, any specials that we may offer, as well as showing love and support for the channel. In this show, I'm going to be teaching you volume. You know how many times I speak about volume in the shows? These little red and green volume bars all over the place. People think they're boring. I'm going to teach you how powerful this little tool is and how it helps you with confirmation buys and sells in the actual market. No more wasting time. This video is sponsored by Bybit. Let's get into it. So Banter fam, what is a volume indicator? How many times on the show do I talk about volume? Guys, this is a simple little tool that indicates, that teaches you and shows you the amount of coins that were bought or sold in a specific amount of time. Now, why is this so important? Guys, because you need to understand, if the market is moving in any direction and it's moving at quite a pace, you need to always have volume backing that actual move. You need to make sure that there actually is support behind you and people are really buying up or selling, depends which way we're actually moving. Now, if you don't have the backing of that, this is where they trap the market. This is where they make you think that this market's really exploding or it's really moving quickly, and if you don't have a key indication of volume backing it, that can actually be tricking you. And this is where you get things like fake outs and you get these random big drops at any points, because they make you think that we're moving in a sort of direction, but you actually don't have the stats backing you. And this is why this little simple indicator is going to help you very much. So how do we actually use it? Because if you jump onto the trading view and we have a look at the charts now. Now remember, I have done a masterclass teaching you on how to add indicators, but if you did forget, remember you can go here to the indicator section and you look for volume. You'll type in volume at the top, and when you see volume, put a little star next to it. Remember, you got your favorite section over here that you can have all your indicators sitting under one, and when you drop it, you will then see all these little bars pop in at the bottom. Now, first thing I want you to do, I want you to quickly pop into the settings of this volume, and I just want you to add this little thing called the volume MA, and I will go through that shortly. So once you've selected that, push OK, and then we go back in the charts. Now, what I want to show you guys, we're now learning trend lines, right? We're learning candlestick patterns, we're learning all these different things. And what you need to understand is these are all little indicators that are going to help you for potential breakouts or potential change of trends or something like that. But you need to understand that volume is a very important part that you always need to be looking at when any of these plays are actually in play. Now, as you can see here, guys, do you see these random big spikes of volume that come at different times? I'm going to show you why they actually work and how important they are actually needed. Now, if we jump back over here, you know, Bitcoin was sitting at a very key level around 11K. And then we know support resistance. You know how important these horizontal lines are, these previous highs. You could see we had all these previous highs over here on the left. And when all of a sudden we ended up breaking resistance, what does that indicate for you? It means, okay, we're finally breaking a high. This is where we can start now moving to the next levels. Now, that is your little indication. Maybe I should buy, maybe I should be adding. What's the next thing you need to look at? You need to make sure that volume is backing that too. So when we get to a very critical level of a breakout of a trend or breakout of support and resistance, make sure volume is backing behind it. Now, if you see this little example over here, as soon as we broke that trend, look how volume all of a sudden came in. And when volume comes in, do you see how we then start getting a really strong momentum move to the upward side? And it shows you, look how powerful these trend lines are. Look how they managed to detect. We don't even know why the volume's coming in, but as soon as it breaks that random line, all of a sudden news comes out or something comes out, and now volume is finally back in the move. And same thing over here. You could see how we were trending sideways, trending sideways, trending sideways. There's a resistance, guys. And as soon as we broke the resistance, what happened? We got volume. And then what happened was we then trailed up, big strong move to the upward side. We then started some sort of correction pattern, started to slow down a bit, RSI's resetting. And then as soon as we get down, we have another trend line in play. And as soon as we break that trend, what happens? Volume breaks the actual move. Now this helps you to understand that this is a real breakout. Because if you don't have volume on a breakout of a trend or something, guys, this is where a fake out can happen, and it can actually collapse, and it ends up thinking, you think it's going to break out, and then it completely falls down and continues down. So you need to make sure you got the volume backing it. So what was interesting here was we had a big push of volume come through when we had the breaker trend, and then we had the second push of volume in this area over here when we broke through this horizontal level, making a higher high finally first. And as soon as we broke that, all of a sudden we then got a massive acceleration to the upward side. We then trailed to the top. As we got to the top over here, this is where volume is important, guys. Do you see how fast trend was moving? Do you see how quickly we were gaining? But do you see how volume was not increasing? Do you see how volume was slowing down, but trend is really going up quickly? There's your warning sign. We are not getting the support that we want. This can be a trap. And all of a sudden what happens is we got low volume leading us up, and which means now basically, there's orders going through, but the big guys or the bigger hands are not buying at these zones. It's just retail foaming into the markets, which means volume slows down, which means they're able to shift just off a simple market order. They're now able to actually really execute. And as you can see over here, we then had a big engulfing candle to the downward side, and then all of a sudden volume managed to retrace that all the way down. So you see how important it is having volume back the actual move. We trended up. Now volume still works either direction, up or downward side. We trended up, right, and we were holding this trend. Look what happens when we broke trend. We broke support, volume came in, we collapsed. We then went up to go test. We then came down, and as soon as we dropped the low, made a lower low, what happened? Volume came in next. And when volume is backing a break of a support or backing of that, then it can get really serious, and we can start getting the much bigger moves. Now, as you can see, guys, on this volume bar, I have this little moving average that's running across. And that's just that simple settings that I showed you. Now, all that this means, guys, is that that's just the average of volume that we're usually looking at in the market at that time. And as soon as we go above that, and we've got volume bars going above that, it's showing that price is really starting to accelerate. Now you can expect really big moves in the market. And as you see, as soon as we start going above, you can see there's really big candlestick movements after that. And see, going forward, guys, break of a trend, volume in, it helps. Same thing here, break of trend on a support, all of a sudden it backs. So now all that you need to know is, doesn't matter what indicator, what tools you're using, when you're getting that sort of signal at any point in the market, you need to know, is volume backing it? And if volume's backing it, you either need to worry if you broke a support and you need to start acting on that, or if you broke a resistance and you're looking to buy in, make sure volume is always backing behind it. And if we have a really strong trending market and volume is decreasing, that usually gets sucked up and engulfed very quickly after time. Now, quick thing, guys, remember, big shout outs to our sponsors for the show, which is Bybit. And remember, when you are getting to these zones of key breakouts or key things, remember to jump into your exchange. You're then easily able to market execute on any break of trends. When you see volumes backing it, you're getting in strong either on a market or limit order as well. That's for buying and obviously for selling as well. Remember, they've got a fantastic spot section as well as a derivative future section. Remember, be highly skilled if you're ever looking to touch leverage, and only if you ever use money that you're actually willing to lose. So guys, with that being said, keeping it simple, keeping it easy, use this. It's always going to be powerful. I'll see you all. So let's have a quick recap of the show and have a quick summary of what we've actually learned. Now remember, what is volume? So simple little bars that you see, and they're actually very important because they need to back a break of a trend or break of any momentum in the actual market. Remember, why is it important? You want to have the support behind you if we are moving in a split direction, and as soon as you don't have that support, it can be a fake out and it can be manipulation in the actual market. And remember how to use it. Refer back to the video and it'll teach you. You can always fall back and you can always learn from it if you ever get stuck or if you ever have any battles in the future. Now guys, let's have a quick recap from what we've actually learned. Now remember, when you have your price increasing and you have volume increasing, that's great. That means you're finally having support, and the movement that we are moving in, you do have the backing, which is fantastic. But when you have the price increasing and the volume decreasing, guys, that's the big worry. Put your red flag out and just have a look, because it means it can possibly be a trap, and it means there's no actual support behind that move. Now if you have price decreasing and volume increasing, guys, this can really show that the bears bears are in control now, because volume is going up and price is going down. You'll see as soon as we break supports, if you see volume increasing, this is your early warning signs that the moves can possibly get really big. And then when you have your price decreasing and your volume decreasing, this means the bears are getting tired now. Same thing, you're not getting the full support, so which means you can easily have a big engulfing candle come at any single time. Now remember guys, with this all being said, this video is sponsored by Bybit. I will see you all in the next video.